Hey, my name is Jack Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about this week's property news. And as always, I'm always going to say this, I think every single week, it is yet another busy one. So many views on the channel, so much content that we went through. We're going to go through some of that again, and we've got some new stuff here as well. Now, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We're on the way to 45,000 subscribers. And by subscribing, you'll get all the latest property news, house price news, interest rate news, property investing news, and much, much more. And let's get some views on this video. How do we do that? Simple. Smash like, tick or like, do something to that like button. That helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that's really helped the channel grow. So thanks to everyone that does that. So, what's going on this week? Well, a lot. There's been the Renters' Rights Bill going through Parliament. Again, we've got some crazy stories on that one, which we need to talk about, particularly the court stuff, CCJ stuff on that. We're talking about rent increases and lots more. So let's quickly have a look in here. So this was a popular video so far this week that hasn't been out long. And that's about the Bank of England slamming Labour. So what does that mean? Well, the Bank of England don't normally like to be political. But in this scenario, they felt that they had to say something. So Rachel Reeves met with senior bankers at Mansion House a few weeks ago, or about a week ago now. And the discussion there was stuff that we already knew was happening. We've shared this on the channel over the last few months. And that's that the government want the Financial Conduct Authority to relax some of the regulation. Now, the goal of that is to get lending, to give people more money, and hopefully that would stimulate the economy and grow the economy because it's pretty stagnant at the moment. So what have they suggested? Well, they've recommended that lenders, rather than just lending 4.5 times your salary, now relax that and allow people to borrow up to 6 times their salary. Now that's going to have a big impact on affordability and allow a lot of people to buy a bigger property than they maybe would have considered before. It'll also bring some new people into the market because the property market is very, very slow at the moment. They've also looked at the fact that why don't we reduce the salary needed in order to get a mortgage? With most lenders, that was around £35,000 for a single application. That's now dropping to just £30,000. For couples, it was £55,000 combined salary. That's dropping to £50,000. Again, bringing more people into the property market, which hopefully will get the market moving. They've also said to lenders to look, if someone can afford monthly rent, let's say that they can afford a monthly rent of £1,000. They've been paying that for years, regardless of debts and other payments they've got. Then surely that means that they can afford a mortgage of £800 a month. And that does make logical sense to me because that's their priority bill and they are paying that. So they're going to have that in the calculation for affordability. So that's pretty good news there. Just checking if there's any other notes that I need to share on that. And also allowing lenders to go back to 100% mortgages. There's already one that's done that called April mortgages. More are likely to start doing that again as well. So, no deposit mortgages. So the Bank of England is saying, slow down a little bit here. This is risky. We don't want to go back to what we had prior to 2008 that ultimately got us in the credit crunch. So they've actually come out and said a statement, talked about it in interviews, and they're saying, look, don't do any more than this. This could be something risky. So that's interesting that they said that. A lot of you said that on the videos as well, that you said, look, this is going to cause a crisis because if you lend lots of money and people stop paying, then ultimately we'll have a big crash. So that was interesting. Go and watch the longer video on that one. What else have we got? Well, we've got rent has gone up more than mortgages. And that's happened quite a lot. Now, it's not always the case that rents are rising at a faster rate than mortgages, but rents are always higher, right? Because otherwise you couldn't have buy-to-let. The mortgage has to be lower than the actual monthly rent payment. And so what is difficult though is the fact that rents are going up at a crazy rate. 6.7% is the average all around the UK, but there are pockets of the UK where it's really high. We're talking Bolton, we're talking Wigan, and where's the other one? We are talking, can't find my notes on it there, but Bolton and Wigan were particularly high. In fact, 31% increase just in those areas, which is absolutely insane. Rents, I think, are going to continue to go up way faster. In fact, mortgages are going to get cheaper because interest rates are going to come down. And so, yeah, rents are going to continue to get higher and higher and higher. And I think you're going to see more conversations in the media about this as they cotton on to the fact that they're going up way more than inflation. Next, court's not ready. This is part of the renters' rights bill. And so a software company called Reap-It, they did a Freedom of Information Act with the government. So the government's done a study on if the courts are ready, should they get rid of Section 21. Now, Section 21 is no-fault eviction, and a lot of landlords use that to get the property back. And that could be for various reasons. If they want to sell, if the rent's not getting paid, if the property's damaged, it's the fastest route to get the property back. It takes around 2 months. Now, it can go to court, but a lot of people get a Section 21 and just leave, and it doesn't really take much time up with the court process. Now, we're saying we're going to get rid of that in the Renters' Rights Bill, so then everyone would have to go through a Section 8. Right now, it takes 6 months to get a court date, which is absolutely bonkers. And so what the report should tell us is whether that would extend. Would it take a year to get a court appointment if they get rid of Section 21? Because it's going to be hundreds of thousands of extra cases going through the system. Now, it's interesting that Reap-It, they asked for this report that the government's done and the study. The government's refused, saying it's legislation that they're still working on. So Reap-It have appealed that and they're going back. But the fact is that if this wasn't particularly bad, let's just say it takes 6 months to get a court date and it was going up to 7 after Section 21 gets abolished, the government would let you know that because it's not too bad. The likelihood is that it's like very bad and probably going up to 12 months. So that's strange, not great. And it does show the government isn't willing to share with us what's going on in their study. So make of that what you will. I'd like to know what you think of that one in the comments. Asking prices. Interesting. So asking prices are down 1.2% in a month. That's one of the biggest drops in 20 years, according to Rightmove data. And that's interesting. Like, that's not great. What's also interesting is when I say asking prices are up, a lot of people comment saying it's irrelevant, it has no bearing on house prices. Now they're going down. A lot of people are saying, there, told you so. It's crashing. The market's going down. Now, I think asking prices are something we should look at and consider because they give us the market sentiment. I think that's really important to know and understand, which I know you guys get. That's a big drop. And if it carries on like that, you're definitely going to see house prices coming down this year. So it'd be really important to see what happens in the next few months as we get more data from Rightmove. All of these bits so far, we've got longer videos on, so do make sure you check out those. We've got a scheme in Milton Keynes. It's called Call Before You Serve. And this is all about asking landlords to call the council and say, look, we're considering getting rid of this tenant, serving a Section 21 or a Section 8, and the council then trying to mediate between the two parties. Now, I think this is good because if you're a landlord, this could speed things up for you, because if you wait for Section 21, right now it takes 2 months. Soon that might not exist. Section 8 can take 6 months at the very quickest. So the fact that the council and Milton Keynes are offering this is good because they don't want to get more people on their social housing list. That's smart. And also, some problems could get resolved because maybe the tenants just stuck their head in the sand. And you know what? They just got behind on their rent. They weren't able to catch up. But sitting in a room, facing it, discussing it, maybe they could come up with a payment plan and keep up with the normal payments, which would be better for the landlord, because if they get the rent paid and start to catch up on that, at least they'll improve. So I think this is one to watch. Let's see how it works in Milton Keynes, and potentially other councils might copy this, which I think would be a good thing. House prices, let's talk about those. There's a lot of house price data that we talk about on the channel. We talk about the nationwide, we talk about the Halifax data, and we talk about the Office of National Statistics. That's the proper data that no one can argue with, because it's cash deals and it's all mortgaged properties as well. It's every transaction that happens. They've just got their data out, and after a massive drop that we had in March and April, which was 2.7%, house prices did rebound slightly, up 1.1% in May, which is good. That's great. We want to see that. And that shows that maybe there's a little bit of a market comeback. Myself don't think house prices are going to go on a tear this year. I think at very best, you'll see a flat market this year. No one knows for sure what will happen next year. Let me know what you think house prices will do next year. And the most popular story this week by a mile was about CCJs for tenants. Now, Section 21 is the no-fault eviction. That allows you as a landlord to give notice to your tenant, 2 months notice, and then get your property back. And that could be for rent arrears, damage, whatever. It's no fault. Any reason you decide, you can look to get your property back. Now, a lot of landlords do that route, even if the tenant is in arrears, because they just want to get the property back, stop the arrears getting higher, and get a new tenant in. And some people won't even chase those arrears up. They have the right to do that, but some people just cut their losses and move on. Now, in that scenario, nobody knows that that tenant didn't pay that rent, and nobody knows if the tenant caused damage to the property, and so they don't get a CCJ against them. Now, we're looking at taking away this Section 21, meaning your only mechanism for a landlord to get the property back is going to be through a Section 8. That's through the courts. That's slow. That means the outcome of that is that the tenant gets a CCJ. Now, that's good for future landlords that might get lumbered with that tenant. As they go through the referencing, the CCJ would show up. It's bad for a lot of tenants that maybe are slightly behind on their rent. They get evicted from the property, and they could have then got another property, because you're going to get more tenants that show a CCJ that will really struggle to get properties in the future. Now, this is something that the councils and the government are trying to avoid. They're trying to make the Renters' Rights Bill something that supports tenants, but actually, by removing something that landlords like, tenants maybe don't like it massively, but it actually is in their interest if it stops them getting a CCJ, potentially could be bad for those tenants moving forward. So go and check out that longer video on the CCJ stuff. It's interesting to know exactly what might happen in the near future. And also, if you are getting a mortgage, refinancing, or anything like that soon, do make sure you grab a copy of The Mortgage Secrets, How to Get the Best Deal in 2025. It's linked in the comments. It's linked in the description. It's an absolute bargain. It doesn't cost anything. And this will help you potentially save thousands, how to find a good broker, how and when is the right time to grab your mortgage, and much, much more. So do grab a copy of that now. More than 500 people have already grabbed that so far, which is great. Also, check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.